It's a Henry Confidential classic, bro.
Okay.
You know, Pez isn't LinkedIn.
I hadn't seen that before.
Well, that means you're not in the loop.
Oh no!
All right. So with that said, welcome. It's the first episode of Build a Bracket. We are going to talk about horror movies. I haven't done anything horror related this entire month just because I've been watching a lot of horror movies. So next year I can be a horror pro. We're going to talk about horror movies separated into 4 subgenres within the horror genre. We'll get into that specific. So real quick, Abel, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you consider yourself as a horror fan? And do you have a feeling you're going to know about all these movies?
I'm scared already, bro. Very nervous, very scared.
That fits it. I like that.
Individuals.
That's just true. JPO, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you on horror?
7.6.
That's not that bad. Jay,
didn't go.
I'm definitely curious. What are you on horror?
6.66. The
Uh,
actual number that you should have gone with.
Funny
I was
joke.
expecting
As soon as I said it, I was like,
6.9.
"Yep, missed the joke."
Brian, what about you, buddy?
Regular horror, put me at about an 8. You go to the elevated A24 shit horror, it's like a 0.5.
Brian's an average aggregate 3.
That's fair. And then last but not least, Pez, how are you generally speaking on horror?
Like an 8.5. I'm working on my Italian and foreign horror. So yeah, once I do that, I'll be all right.
I like that.
Horror
Spicy
movies.
meatball.
I like that. All right,
Dante's
so
Inferno.
so with that said, the subgenres today for this, so it's 32 total movies separated into 4 subgenres. We have slasher / serial killers. You'll understand why I threw that in there. Then we have supernatural / sci-fi. We have monsters, which is just any type of general monsters within the horror genre, and then horror comedies, because I didn't want to get into the stuff that Brian hates and the stuff that specifically John loves and the niche stuff of the horror. So let's start with the horror comedies. I know that we'll
The
generally all
1980s
know.
French horror movies.
Question.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Yes,
when
sir.
do Jay and I take shots?
Now, so with that said, we're going to get into our first matchup. We're going to go. So we have an even number because, Abel was like, I have to be here. And Jay was like, I don't even know horror, but I'm coming anyway because I want to do something.
I know horror.
You know horrors. So with that,
Don't talk about my ex-girlfriend like that.
so we're going to go left to right starting off. So Pez, our first matchup is going to be in the slasher genre. So what I did is I chose the 8 movies each, but then I randomized the matchups. So they're in the slash genre, but the matchups within the subgenres will be random. So our first matchup is going to be slasher / serial killers, which is going to be Saw versus Psycho. Pez.
If we're talking franchises, Saw wins. Individual movies, Psycho by a country mile.
All right. Well, Pez is going Psycho. For me, almost the exact same thing. If we're talking franchises, Saw is my second favorite franchise of all time. First
We
horror
know like
franchise.
8 of those movies have fucking 5 stars on your letterbox.
Especially Saw 6.
That's the only one that doesn't. So I am also going to go Psycho. Abel.
Saw versus Psycho, but I'm gonna go with Saw, bro. I have more fun watching Saw movies than I have watching any Psycho movies except for the first one. So yeah, I'll go with Saw.
I am not even mad. JPO.
Yeah, you gotta go Psycho here.
Woo! And Jay.
Black and White versus the movie where the guy cuts his leg off.
Just the foot, not the whole
Yeah,
leg.
a little outside.
He goes a little higher than the ankle. I'm just saying that constitutes leg.
We're in the foot territory.
I'm gonna go Psycho. Psycho's just that it's creepy enough for me that like I can still watch it multiple times, whereas Saw just gets boring after a while.
Oh, but I read the comments too late, so I don't know who this is about. But okay, Boomer. I don't know who that's going to be about.
Says the Boomer.
Probably Brian.
And speaking of Brian, what's your vote?
They were just preparing for the Boomer to start talking. I haven't seen Psychos 2 through 4. The first one doesn't get boring because it's boring from the minute 1. So I'd really, as much as I don't love the Saw movies, all of them. I mean, I like in a certain extent. I will watch any of those over Psycho any day. So
That is fair. Oh, and that does bring it up. So what we're doing is any movie that is technically a franchise, whatever, we're only doing one movie for the vote, but you can pick the one that you associate the franchise with. And like Friday 13th, my best example, where no one's going to have the same favorite, so you can utilize whatever you want as your voter. So with that said, Psycho is going to move on though, because we had, was that 3-3?
4-2.
It was 4-2, yeah. Okay.
This is what I do on tournament fights. I got you.
Okay, all right.
I'll be your
Like,
coach.
this is
There you
old
go.
hat for me, baby.
Pez is my guy right there.
It's
He's
what
the
I do
math addict.
on the other show. So, I just instinctively grabbed the pen and was like started marking down votes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right, so our second matchup, we're bouncing over to Supernatural because I want there to be a little mystery in all these. So the matchups for second round. So we're going over to Supernatural, and our first matchup is The Exorcist versus Get Out. Supernatural versus sci-fi, and it's going to start with me. If we're talking about just pure scares, The Exorcist probably has it, but we're talking about better movies, more rewatchability, and just overall what I like more, I'm going to go with Get Out. I think it's just, it doesn't have the longevity of it right now because it's newer, but I do genuinely believe it has going to have more impact in the future of future horror movies, and Get Out is just a better movie for me. So I'm going to go Get Out. Abel.
I have to go The Exorcist, man. I'm gonna like vehemently disagree with you. The Exorcist is one of the all-time horror classics, and Get Out to me is it's as much a horror movie as it's like social commentary and almost like a comedy. So yeah, no, The Exorcist takes the cake here for sure.
All right, JPO.
I like cake, but I'm gonna go with the Get Out cake. I think it will end up being an all-timer at the end of the day. It just speaks to me a little bit more. It's something I would rewatch more than The Exorcist. I'm gonna go Get Out.
All right, Jay.
I know white people who have said I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could have. And that's
It's
probably
scary.
the scariest fucking thing I've ever heard.
And Brian's right there.
He does kind of look like Bradley Whitford.
Especially in the movie, actually does. Twins.
I have a problem getting through The Exorcist. I did a watch along with Dominic Rizzi a while ago when it came to The Exorcist, and just like having to rewatch that movie during the edit of that show was fucking boring. That movie is boring as shit. I get it. It's a slow burn. I gotta go with Get Out.
All right, and then Brian.
I don't get it because The Exorcist is not a good movie. It's not even a scary movie in the slightest bit. So yeah, easily Get Out.
Damn. And then Pez.
But it's the scariest movie ever, right, Henry? According to our blind exhibition, which you picked. No wonder you lost that question.
Yikes.
The Exorcist for me is like the Beatles. I respect it more than I like it. Get Out.
All right, so that Get Out's moving on, sounds like.
Yeah, 5-1.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes, I was very much outvoted.
All right, you were. So we're jumping over to Monsters, and I have one movie within a franchise here, technically, but similar rules. Use the one that you want from this franchise, but we have Jaws versus Dawn of the Dead. You can do Night of the Living Dead. You can do whatever the ones in the Ramirez, but we're gonna start with Abel.
Jaws is actually the first horror movie I ever saw. If you want to classify it as a horror movie, it's my mom's favorite movie in terms of like horror stuff. I grew up in that movie. Dawn of the Dead just doesn't speak to me at all, even though I am a massive zombie fan. Jaws for sure.
There we go, JPO.
Yeah, Dawn has some good redeeming qualities. Even the Snyder one might be one of the better Snyder movies. But Jaws is Jaws, and well, it's not exactly I don't herald it as much as some others. I'm definitely going to choose with it over Dawn here.
All right, Jay.
The scariest part of Jaws is the fact that the mayor still has his job at the beginning of the second movie.
Mhm.
I'm going Dawn of the Dead. I actually really enjoy a lot of them. I think the opening sequence to Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead is a really good shot. I like the whole, like, everybody's like, oh, it's consumerism. That's why all zombie movies have that fucking trope where they take place on a mall. And it's just like, it builds off of this more than it builds off of anything else. And I thoroughly enjoy shit like that. So it gets my vote. There's more enjoyability out of the Dawn series than there is the Jaws series for me. Especially once they start getting tracked by a fucking shark in the fourth one.
That's fair. Brian.
Yeah, I don't know if the Dawn of the Dead is representing the whole of the Dead franchise or not, but it doesn't matter because it would be my same answer either way. I don't like any of the Jaws movies besides the first one, and I don't like any of the Dawn of the Dead franchise or the Dead franchise except for the Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. So it's really just movie versus movie for me. And while I like them both, I'd probably have to go with Jaws.
All right. Now we're bouncing up to Pez.
Yeah, franchise versus franchise, I go with Up the Dead. Jaws is the best individual movie, but because I love the 78 Dawn of the Dead as well as the 2004 almost on the same level, and I love Day of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead, I'm going to go with Dawn of the Dead on this one.
Ooh,
Don't forget about Land of.
Land was good too.
Diary of the.
Well, I defend Diary, but not many people would.
So
There's
for
not a
me,
lot to defend there.
Yeah.
So for me, Pez knows that I'm not really big on the Dead franchise as a whole. Night of the Living Dead is actually the one that I love the most because I love the balls on that ending of just how it ends on that down note. But even then, if I was to compare Jaws versus Night of the Living Dead, Jaws is just one of those movies where it's just a banger, and it's one of those things that makes you fear of the ocean, not just the shark, and that's more scary as a whole too, and has that real life fear of it. So I'm gonna go Jaws.
Yeah, you should have picked Jaws.
Agreed.
I'll already win.
He already voted.
You started on me, dude. So I'm happy with your choice.
He's gonna double vote for Jaws.
Oh, you start on
I'll
All
vote
right.
again.
So
I'll
yeah.
vote again.
So what were the votes there?
Jaws 4-2.
4-2.
Jaws.
Brian, I got your back.
I'm also keeping track.
I appreciate it, guys.
And,
Because I'm doing all the edits of having the things and also updating the graphics for after.
It's all good.
With that said, we're jumping into our final subgenre, horror comedies. And I know some of you are going to like one of these movies and some are going to like the others. Our first matchup is Tremors versus Evil Dead 2. And we're going to start with JPO.
This could be the hardest one we've had so far. Damn, yeah, this is the one I wish I could think more of. I'm just gonna go with just follow my heart. I'm gonna say Tremors. Follow my heart. If we're going just more movie wise, Tremors. Like one
We're
movie.
going Tremors there. So now we're going to bounce over to Jay. What are your
Actually,
thoughts?
Actually, same. There's a little comedic value in the first one. The more they go, the more disbelievable the Tremors movies get. But it's almost as unbelievable as the Evil Dead franchise. So, Tremors.
All right, so we got 2 votes for Tremors, bouncing over to Brian.
Movie versus movie, it's super close for me because I like both these movies. So, I mean, for my tiebreaker, I'd kind of go to the franchise, which, with Evil Dead, you also get Army of Darkness. You get the new Evil Dead, which I actually really very much enjoyed the remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it.
That's
So I'm going to go with Evil Dead.
Jaws the Revenge slaps, apparently. We're gonna slap it
Okay,
over.
Yeah. I like Evil Dead 2 a lot, but Tremors, as Henry knows, is my second favorite movie of all time. Period. So Tremors, yes, all day.
That's a bold statement, Cotton.
Yeah.
It pays off. We're gonna bounce over to me. Since we are doing movie for movie on this one, because this is like one of those ones where it's not Friday the 13th, this one is like a lot of people's favorites. I'm going to go movie for movie on this one. I do not like Evil Dead 2 that much. I think it's one of the most overrated horror movies of all time. It just doesn't work for me. I love the first Evil Dead. I really like Army of Darkness, and the Evil Dead remake is fine. And Ash vs. Evil Dead is really cool. But Evil Dead 2 just does not work for me. I don't know what it is. And Tremors is, it's great for what it is. So I'm going Tremors.
It's because you hate that fucking Delta
Army of
88.
Darkness 4K Steelbook that just came out, motherfuckers.
There you go.
Look at
Give me that
shit.
boomstick.
It's not the flex
Has
that
the
you
world's
think it
greatest
is.
actor Kevin Bacon in it.
What?
Speaking of Kevin Bacon, Abel.
I think I appreciate that because I was going to say the world's greatest actor of all time, Kevin Bacon.
Never was.
Tremors all the way. Well, I was sure I was going to have to tie it up because I was like, these 3 knuckleheads are always going for Evil Dead. But no, okay, good. I appreciate it. Yes, Tremors all the way.
All right. And is that 4-2?
It's 5-1.
Oh, even better. Even better.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tremors is going to move on. So now we're going over to our second matchup in the slasher/serial killer franchise. And once again, pick the one that you want to, or if honestly, with this matchup, you can do franchise however you want to go about it. I swear to God, it was random. Halloween versus Friday the 13th. We're going to start with Jay.
Oh, one of these is unbelievable because it's got a man in a mask who kills people, and they supposedly have supernatural powers. And the other one, a dude squares up with Jason fucking Voorhees on the streets of Manhattan. And I swear to God, that's my favorite scene in all of the Friday the 13th movies. So it's gonna be Friday the 13th.
Okay, we have a vote for Friday the 13th. We're gonna go over to Brian.
I pretty much don't like any of the Halloween movies. The 2018 one is actually decent. The original one is okay, but seriously overrated. The rest of them just suck. Friday the 13th, there's some bad ones in there for sure, but I actually, at least they have some fun to them. Especially, actually, my favorite is the 2009 reboot. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Friday the 13th.
I thought Brian was for sure gonna say his favorite one was Jason X.
Oh god.
It's top 3 for me in that franchise.
I don't know if that's saying much. We are going to go over to you now, okay?
Franchise for franchise, Halloween's my favorite franchise, and Halloween's the better movie out of the 2 original movies. Halloween.
Yeah, this one's
It's
pretty
not,
easy for
though.
me. Halloween is my favorite franchise of the
So
two.
y'all are just gonna shit on Kevin Bacon like that?
He does that for
Not when
himself.
he's in Tremors.
Yeah, and then the first Halloween, my favorite Friday the 13th movie is Jason Lives, but Jason Lives versus the first Halloween, I'm still going to go with Halloween, so Halloween for me. Abel?
Yes, I hate doing my boy Kevin Bacon very like that. Also, Crispin Glover, big shout out. But come on, dude, I just don't get the Friday the 13th movies. They are so bad. Each and every one of them is. There's just no enjoyment in there for me at all. Halloween
Roy.
has stinkers, of course. The series has a lot of stinkers, but there's also a lot of good movies in there. Halloween H2O, big shout out. Love that movie. Halloween all day.
All right, JPO.
No, I'm glad we corrected this shit because we were off on a rocky start.
Yes.
Halloween by a mile, in almost any argument for me. I don't think I would choose the worst Halloween over the best Friday the 13th. Jason doesn't do much for me. I can have some fun, but I think the Halloween is so much more interesting on every level. Halloween.
All right.
Halloween 4-2.
Halloween's going to move on. So now we're going to go into our second matchup in Supernatural versus Sci-Fi. This one is a banger. The Conjuring versus Hereditary. We're going to start with Brian with two of his favorite genres.
The Conjuring, the first Conjuring. I mean, all of them are okay. The second one was easily the worst for me.
Not
But
great.
I do enjoy The Conjuring to an extent. Hereditary is a complete shit movie. It's an unintentional comedy. I laughed my ass out off in watching that movie.
You laughed your ass out.
Because it was just so unintentionally bad and funny. So yeah, Conjuring easily.
All right, Pez.
I'm the other way. I think the Conjuring movies are overrated. I don't really
I
like
don't
them.
love those either.
I don't like the universe as a whole. I think there's way more shitty movies than good movies, and Hereditary on its own has better direction, and none of the Conjuring movies have an Oscar level performance like Toni Collette. So Hereditary.
Oh my god, we get it. You like
Aaron,
A24
agrees with
films.
you.
No, I don't actually. Fuck those movies. I hate
Nope.
Lamb.
That wasn't directed towards you.
And
Okay.
Abel is wasted. So now we're gonna bounce over to me. Although I really love the first Conjuring, the second one is
That's
not
ableist.
great. Yes, the second one's not great. The third one's fine. I actually like that. And then the spin-offs or whatever. But for me, Hereditary, it's one of those movies that this Hereditary might be the one that, like, as time has gone by, I've turned me into a horror fan because it showed me just like the way I connect to the horror as a genre. So Hereditary for me by landslide, even though I do really like The Conjuring. Abel.
I think it's tough ranked like comparing 7 movies to 1. If you know what I mean. I don't know.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. We're picking the one, but some people like to do the tiebreaker.
No, but I appreciate that. But it's still a little weird. But I think the Conjuring universe shot itself in the foot, becoming like a whole universe thing with like Curse of La Llorona and stuff like that, and the Nun. Hereditary is just a really, really good, solid horror movie with like a family horror aspect to it, which I always love, like the when it's about family relationships and stuff like that, and it just that is where the horror stems from. So yeah, Hereditary all day. Come on.
There you go, JPO.
I think this is kind of tough. I think there's a lot of merit for both. I actually disagree with your Conjuring rankings too. I really like the second one. It's my favorite.
Oh,
of
you're the
three.
one.
I'm the one. I'm that guy. I like the second one the most. I think it's
JPO and
great.
Jordan Anderson. I think those movies are like masterpieces.
Well, in this case, the Jordans are right. But I'm actually still gonna give my vote to. I'm gonna give my vote to Hereditary. I thought it was great. You mentioned the Oscar-worthy performance that was snubbed, and yeah, I just thought it was really good stuff, man. So Hereditary.
There you go, and Jay.
I don't like either of these fucking movies. don't like either. I don't like the fucking Conjuring franchise, and Hereditary was just it was so overly hyped up by the community. By the time that I watched it, it just didn't live up to that expectation. So it drops for me. At least I'm not sitting here fucking saying, "Oh, Tusk is the greatest A24 film of all time." I'm not Tato.
Top three.
Is it not? Is it not?
It is. But I'd go with Hereditary, because like Abel said, Curse of La Llorona, fucking The Nun. Those movies are straight hot garbage, and there's nothing as bad as either one of those films in Hereditary.
All right. I love how you guys are approaching this.
Yeah, they're not using the same logic I'm using, but all right.
That's fair. Like I said, whatever.
No, that was my logic.
It's just like on tournament fights. Whatever gets the vote, like whatever.
Get your blood going, yeah.
There you go. All right, so Hereditary wins that one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
5-1.
There we go. Monsters. Once again, random matchups. We are going The Fly versus Alien.
Oh, you
We
don't
are
have
starting
Golden
with-
Lady?
We are starting with Pez.
I'm going to go pretty easily with The Fly in my top 20 movies of all time. I'm more of an Aliens guy than an Alien guy, so The Fly for me.
And if it helps your judging, Aliens is not on this list, so just keep that in mind.
That's
but
fine.
yeah,
So I'll go The Fly.
we're gonna bounce over to me. Alien, easy. The Fly's good, but it's got that, all the body horror and stuff. It's just not going to be as rewatchable, and you really have to be in the mood to deal with that. You can't have just eaten within the last 48 hours if you're going to watch that movie. So Jeff Goldblum's fantastic, but Alien, it's one of those movies that just flies by. It's got the jump scares. The performances, it sets up Sigourney Weaver as a character even in that one. The design of the alien's great. The scene with Lambert,
Harry Dean Stanton.
with Harry Dean Stanton, where he's just where he sets it up, everything when he's looking for Jonesy and all that stuff. It's just a banger of a scene. So Alien for me by a country mile.
John, quit calling yourself out there.
Is this just The Fly and Alien, or
That
the
is-
Alien franchise?
No, it's just the single movies. And if for some reason you want to think of 1,000 movies, that's on you. But yeah, singular movies.
No, I mean it's always going to be Alien, but if you say Alien, I'm thinking of the whole AVP sort of like franchise.
No, just the one,
I
Oh
actually
yes,
think,
Requiem.
I actually think
Well, people discounted Conjuring based on its spin-offs.
That was on them. I told
That's
you
what
from
I
day
mean.
one.
Like, I'm like, that's.
I'm saying
that
if,
got nothing to do
if
with that
there's a
movie.
franchise, I said pick the one that you want to use for the vote.
Yeah.
But yes, go ahead, Abel. What are you going with?
Fuck La Llorona. What's that guy doing?
I actually think 1979's Alien is one of the best horror movies of all time. So
Thanks.
I'm going. I like it a lot more than the first Halloween. Like for me, that is like the horror movie. Alien. Yes, please give me one.
There we go. And then next up is Jacob.
Yep.
I
I got
a little finger.
respect for both, but I got a lot of love for Alien, so I gotta go Alien.
There we go. And Jay.
Alien made a dude in a black PVC outfit held together with duct tape and cardboard scary. The Fly is just a whole bunch of extra makeup over the Brundle. I gotta go with Alien on this one. That movie scared the shit out of me. The Fly didn't make me sick to my stomach. It was just like it was an interesting watch, but it was boring in the long run. Whereas I'm always entertained by Alien when I watch it.
There you go. I like that. And then Brian.
Alien is not my favorite of the franchise. I'm more of an Aliens guy as well, but I would take any of the first 4 Aliens over The Fly. So Alien.
All right. Alien, move on there.
Yeah, 5-1. I thought it'd be closer, actually.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to bounce back over to horror comedies, and we have once again more newer ones. We have Happy Death Day versus Cabin in the Woods. And we're gonna start with me. I love Happy Death Day. This is gonna be a movie that I will always talk about. I'm down for watch alongs. I'm down to vouch for it. I'm down on that stuff. The Cabin in the Woods is a fucking banger, dude. Cabin in the Woods. It's the more that I watch it, the more that I become a horror fan, the more that I appreciate it, get the references, and the more it just sticks with me. The first half sets you up to get into the second half, especially if you know all the tropes and just what it's really going for. Cabin in the Woods is a banger. It's gonna, when I redo my top 100, it's gonna be pretty high up in there. That I love this movie. So yeah, I'm gonna go Cabin in the Woods. But Happy Death Day, if you haven't seen it for whatever reason, I will always recommend it. So Cabin in the Woods though. Abel.
Yeah, I hate this. I hate this because I'm
Just round two too. Not even round 2, just second matchup.
I am so hard trying to rack my brain for reasons to pick Happy Death Day, and I just can't. But I hate it. But I just can't. I gotta pick Cabin in the Woods. But I fucking love Happy Death Day, dude. You know what? Fuck it. I'll Happy Death Day because
Happy Death Day. Let's go.
I'm having more fun. Happy Death Day.
There you go, JPO.
Yeah, a lot of love for both. Happy Death Day was a nice kind of surprise here. Wasn't sure what you're gonna get from the trailer, but it ended up working really well. But I love Cabin in the Woods, man. That's one that I definitely go back to and definitely champion a lot. Cabin in the Woods gets my vote.
All right, Jay.
Horror movie, fucking Groundhog's Day versus probably one of the more fucking genuine horror movies with a shitload of monsters in it that I've seen. Stop One in the World would be great. Jesus Christ. This is why I prefer Your Cousin sometimes. I'm gonna go Cabin in the Woods. This movie's funny as fuck, bro, and I always see something new every time I watch it. Whereas Happy Death Day is just one of those movies that I can't bring myself to watch again, and it's not for lack of enjoyment. It's just I don't care for the premise all that much.
That's fair. Bradley Whitford. Brian. What do you?
Yeah, I'd rather kick off like 5 or 6 of the previous matchup winners and just keep both of these. Because honestly, I not having seen the full list yet, I'm guessing like my Elite 8 would probably be almost all the horror comedy section. But that's not how it works. Love both these movies, but yeah, I got to lean towards Cabin in the Woods.
That's why I did the subgenres like this, so it makes it harder and more even with the matchups until we get to the finals. We're about over to Pez.
I saw Cabin in the Woods 3 times opening weekend because I just wanted to see the audience reaction to that third act.
Nerd.
Yep. Call me Mark. I don't give a fuck. I gave it a standing ovation opening night. Cabin in the Woods.
Who's the only guy standing clapping?
You're the reason that people don't go back to theaters, Pez.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'll have it to myself. Fuck all you.
There you go. Cabin in the Woods moves on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I'm happy I gave Happy Death Day my vote because I just wanted to have at least one vote because I knew everyone's going Cabin.
That we call that a happy.
It would have been a whole lot of other stuff on this list so far.
Yes, I know, which is why I'm mad.
All right, going over to our penultimate matchup in slashers / serial killers. We are at a Wes Craven duo, A Nightmare on Elm Street versus Scream. And Abel, you are first. Random. I told you this randomizer when there's only 8. Brutal.
Yeah, you got to keep doing me like this, huh?
Yep, for free.
And is it franchise or movie?
No, it's single or movie, and you can just pick the one from the franchise that you want. So your favorite Nightmare versus your favorite Scream. Which one are you picking?
That makes no sense.
Makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
What is your favorite Scream? What is your favorite Nightmare? Choose.
Because see, I could go like Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is sort of like a Scream movie. You know what I mean? And then
Whatever logic you want, pick one of each and battle, fight.
I'll go Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right, Nightmare on Elm Street. First vote, JPO.
Yeah, as much as I love the concept, there's some really sloppy sequels, and Scream 1 is that's kind of the thing that got me into horror. I saw that as a young kid, loved it, was able to see it in theaters last year, might even see it again in theaters this year. So I gotta go Scream.
All right, we got one for each. Going over to Jay.
Having recently watched the first Scream for like the very first time, and having rewatched A Nightmare on Elm Street recently, out of those two, which one do I enjoy more? I enjoy A Nightmare on Elm Street more than I enjoy Scream. So I'm going to go with A Nightmare on Elm Street.
We got 2-1. Going over to Brian.
Nightmare on Elm Street did launch a whole franchise, although it had hits and big misses. But yeah, I'm going first movie against first movie. I got to go with Scream.
All right, Scream. We are tied. Going over to Pez.
My answer is the same whether we're talking about the franchise, the individual movies, or the third films. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice.
We are gonna have our first tie because I'm going Scream.
I knew you were going Scream, so yeah, that's.
But we're gonna do tournament fight style at the top. Pez, you are the tiebreaker.
1, 2,
Oh, go to the
Freddy's
chat.
coming
Go to the
for
chat.
you.
Go to the chat. Oh, Pierce Wrestling says
Moves
Scream.
on based on
Damn
the
it.
rules. All right, Nightmare on Elm Street moves on. So now we're back over to Supernatural. This
Ignore
is
our
gonna be an
loyal
interesting one.
viewers.
Yeah, it's the
Wait,
beginning.
how
of
did the tiebreaker work?
Wait, what's
Uh,
going on?
top
Tournament
of the
fight
list,
style.
left to right, left to right. So he
We'll
got
rotate
it.
the tiebreaker
If
vote.
there
So
is
Henry
another-
Henry will have the next one, then Albel, then JB.
So we have 6 ties before I get to have.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
For real.
Good luck.
This is the worst tie-breaking idea ever.
That was the best because then there's no like bullshitting. You just
Then
go
it's
with
one
it.
random.
person gets to basically.
But it's random though,
It's
so you never know
random,
when you're going to
yeah.
get
Anyway,
tied.
Moving on to Supernatural / sci-fi. This is going to be interesting because I don't honestly know how everyone feels about both of these movies. We have The Shining versus Poltergeist, and we are starting with JPO.
All work and no play makes Homer a something. Let's go The Shining.
We are going to shin for one. We're going to go over to
Shitting.
Jay.
He's got the shitting. I like the book The Shining more than I like the movie. I respect the director.
You can't read.
I can't read. That's 100% fair. You can't read.
Can't even read.
He found a Shining picture book.
Those goddamn Jets. I'm gonna go with The Shining.
All right, we have The Shining there. Brian, this is definitely going to be interesting.
Well, I actually prefer Doctor Sleep. I think is a better movie than The Shining. Honestly, I love Doctor Sleep. The Shining is good, but I like him better. Poltergeist, I rewatched last year. I just don't think it's that good of a movie, honestly. So I gotta go to Shining.
All right, we have The Shining. We're going over to Pez.
Much love to Poltergeist and Toby Hooper. There's a movie in his filmography that I like more than Poltergeist, though. I don't know if it's in here or not. But The Shining is an all-timer. Stanley Kubrick's best movie, one of the best horror movies of all time. The Shining.
All right, and then everyone knows where I'm going to go. I am definitely going to go The Shining. Abel.
Yeah, this is the most straightforward one I think we've had so far. The Shining is one of the best horror movies of all time, and Poltergeist is really not that good. But I echo Brian's sentiment. Doctor Sleep, in my opinion, one of the greatest horror sequels of all time. So yeah,
There you go.
Now, if you
All
had
right,
said
so-
Poltergeist, because Poltergeist slaps.
Mm-hmm.
So The Shining is going to move on. Now we're back over to monsters.
This is always a great argument.
Mm-hmm.
We're going over to monsters. Different style of monsters here. We have The Thing versus The Descent.
Mm.
And we're going to go over to Jay.
Oh, I might be one of the only people who actually likes The Descent, but nothing stands up to The Thing. The Thing. I really like the concept of The Descent, but I gotta go with The Thing, man.
There you go. And then we're going to go over to Brian.
So super hot take time. I prefer The Thing 2011 to The Thing 1982.
Oh,
Boot him.
Prequel?
get him
Prefer
out
the
of here.
prequel.
And I'm not even just being
Edgy. Edgelord.
annoying. I honestly
You are.
just enjoy that more. I understand if you like the 81, I get it. Just not for me. The Descent, I haven't watched in a long time. I remember hearing so much hype about it and watching it and thinking it was okay, but not great. So I'm either one we're talking about. I gotta go with The Thing.
All right. And then Pez.
Thing has slipped into my second favorite horror movie of all time. Used to be kind of tied with Invasion of the Body Snatcher 78, but it's number 2. It's still one of the greatest movies ever. The Thing.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. I watched Descent. I honestly just wasn't really a fan, and I just wasn't in the right mindset at the time. I knew the twist and all, and like what it became. And that wasn't the reason, but I think I wasn't as invested though. So like when it did happen, I was just like, yeah, all right, I'm just whatever. Whereas The Thing, it's a bang. I got to see it on the big screen a couple months ago for the first time, and that was just awesome. Even though there was a guy like commentating the entire time and doing what Pez did and standing up and clapping, and I was like, oh, that Pez? But it's even though that did not ruin my experience. That shows how great that movie is. So John Carpenter's The Thing for me. Abel.
I know Brian just likes being contrarian, but 2011's The Thing is actually really, really fucking good. The Descent, Jay, stop, bro. The Descent is really fucking dope. I watched.
I'm not saying it's not. I enjoy the movie.
No, I know. But
I just haven't found a lot of people who like it.
One of the only ones who like it. No, it's really.
I've not found a lot of people who like it.
I like it.
I watched it last week. It's a horror movie that I like revisiting, but The Thing is top tier horror, bro. It's just top tier horror.
Yeah.
From the execution to the whole premise, it just works. So yeah, there you go.
There you go. And who started?
So we still have JPO, yeah.
JPO, go ahead.
No, just to reiterate what Abel said. I'm with you, Jay. I like The Descent, but The Thing is an all-timer for me. The Thing.
There you go. The Thing is going to move on.
Mhm.
They're
Now
not being
we're-
contrarian. It's my honest opinion.
I can say whatever I want. I'm actually really bummed out that Jay is not first on this one. Over to horror comedies, we have Shaun of the Dead
You fucking cuck.
versus What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
No.
fuck it, you, sir.
Random, I swear to God. We're
I'm
starting
sure
with
it
Brian.
I find What We Do in the Shadows amusing, but I think it's got some real slow parts to it. I love Shaun of the Dead. I gotta go Shaun.
All right, we're gonna go over to Pez.
Shaun of the Dead is good. As of right now, it's my least favorite Cornetto, though. What We Do in the Shadows is not only my favorite Taika Waititi movie, it's quickly becoming one of my favorite comedies of all time. I got to go What We Do in the Shadows.
Woo! We're gonna go over to me. What We Do in the Shadows. I'm glad I rewatched it when me and Pez when we ranked Taika Waititi because it was definitely one of those ones where it's like, oh, I definitely needed to rewatch this because I definitely am more positive on it now. And ironically, Shaun of the Dead has gone down in my overall like top 100 and just overall thoughts. Not because I'm like negative on it. I think it's just one of those things where it's like the community is so like Cornetto like heavy that it's kind of like worn me out on it. So like The World's End is skyrocketed because not enough people talk about it, and a lot of people talk about Shaun of the Dead. But even with that said, Shaun of the Dead is still one that I like quote all the time, like, you know, you got red on you and, you know, stuff like that, which just always gets me. And, you know, I'm sorry, Sean. No, it's okay. No, I'm sorry, Sean.
Sean.
Stuff like that where it's like, it's always a good time. So Shaun of the Dead. But What We Do in the Shadows, it's definitely Taika Waititi's got his own style, but it does work for me. Abel.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm just not the biggest Taika Waititi fan. I just think he tries too hard, and I think Shaun of the Dead is fucking great. So, Shaun of the Dead. This one's an easy one for me.
There you go. JPO.
What We Do in the Shadows is absolutely awesome. Maybe it's just because Shaun of the Dead has more longevity for me, and it's something I've gone to back. And even now, if I had to put one in, I might lean towards Shaun. We'll go Shaun of the Dead.
There you go. And the man of the hour, Jay.
Can I get any of you cunts a drink? I quote on a weekly basis, Shaun of the Dead easy. It's like every 3 months I'll find like just the perfect situation, you know, where werewolves, not swearwolves. To quote What We Do in the Shadows, I love the Cornetto trilogy. Pez knows this for a fact that I love the Cornetto trilogy. Spoilers to a match that may or may not come out eventually. I gotta go Shaun of the Dead, and I'm really sad about it, but I do absolutely enjoy What We Do in the Shadows. Even the TV show's great. The TV show's fucking hilarious.
If John's still in the comments, he might have dipped out by now for to get ready for his battleground. But yes, he literally despises What We Do in the Shadows, the movie, because of the TV show. Without seeing, I don't know the full context, but Shaun of the Dead's moving on.
Yeah.
All right, we are in the final matchups of round one for each sub. Once again, pick the franchise that you want, or the movie from the franchise that you want. We're going to start with Pez. We are going Child's Play versus Candyman.
Yeah. Franchise-wise, I'd go Child's Play, but I'm going to go with movie versus movie in this one. I've rewatched Candyman a lot lately. That movie is classy. It's great. Amazing score. It's really, really well made. I think it's one of the best of the 90s. I'm actually going to go Candyman here, but I might be in the minority. We'll see.
All right, and we're going to bounce over to me. So what I've learned about myself is I am a fan of the Child's Play franchise, and my favorite within the franchise and is potentially going to be top 100 when I do that is Child's Play 2. Poor Andy. Can we believe my guy? He's just trying to tell you what's going on, and also, don't fuck with the Chuck. Child's Play. I really enjoy Candyman, especially being a Chicago based movie. But Child's Play 2 is just one of those ones that I can just throw it on at any point and always be in the mood for it. It has the horror and also has the comedy, which is, Candyman kind of got to be in the mood for it. So don't put razors in my candy. Child's Play. Abel.
Does it work if I just go in the camera and just go Candyman? You can just talk. I'm too.
It has to be a mirror, not a camera. So yeah.
Or in the remake, you can do a mirror and then like 10 days later do 4 more and it still work. But yeah, that's
They're a little too trashy for me. I'm not a big fan. I think the '90s Candyman, the first one, is really good. I actually really enjoyed a remake, the one that came out pretty recently. Candyman takes it for me by a long shot, actually.
Oh, we've got a Candyman there, and then we're gonna go over to JPO.
I was watching Chucky season 2 and paused it to do this thing. I got a lot of love for Chucky, the little guy. I love the concept, and it's something I can just kind of zip through and have some more fun with. And I know that's not necessarily the goal here, but I would just definitely lean more towards it than Candyman, Child's Play.
All right, we're at 2 and 2. Going over to Jay.
So a week before the new Candyman remake was announced, I added Jordan Peele on Twitter and said that he should direct the Candyman sequel. A week later, we got told he was producing the Candyman sequel. So you're welcome. I'm the reason that we have the new Candyman. And yes, I did.
Thank
for
you,
that,
thank you.
Oh, okay. I thought you said no, you didn't. But Candyman's far more enjoyable than Child's Play. With the exception of I do kind of like the new one, but I'm biased because it's got Luke Skywalker in it. So yeah, I got
Right, and Brian.
Yeah, so Candyman, I don't love. I mean, the first one's the remake, didn't even see the older 2 and 3. Child's Play, I'm not big on though either. Although I will say, if I'm going to pick my movie versus movie thing, I really thought Child's Play hit its stride when it got into like Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, where it just leaned all the way into like being,
campy as fuck.
the fun and the camp side of it. And so based on that, I'm going to vote Child's Play.
You said Candyman. You started Candyman first.
No, I said can.
So does that mean we have a tie?
Yeah.
That's your tiebreaker.
Yeah. We have a tie.
And you know what that means? Don't fuck with the Chuck. Chucky.
Oh my
Child's Play is moving on.
He's not a scary villain, bro. He's 2.5 feet tall. You punt that motherfucker across the room, dog.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
so tired of this shit.
Facts.
But he's agile and small.
Dog, he can be taken down with a lighter and a can of hairspray. I'm not afraid of that.
In the first one, he yeeted the shit out of Aunt Maggie, and she just fucking went. So see, you guys got to say
Candyman.
it 5 times on accident. We're gonna say it on accident. All right, we're going to our final matchup for Supernatural. We are going Paranormal Activity versus The Ring, and we are starting with
You, Henry. Yeah.
Paranormal Activity sucks. The Ring is awesome. I'm going The Ring.
That was very straightforward.
Yeah, I don't have anything positive to say about Paranormal Activity. And I'd wait. I want to use my good words for The Ring in a better matchup. So The Ring.
I'll be honest. I have to completely agree with you. I think Paranormal Activity is trash, bro. The Ring all day, my dude.
Yeah, honestly, I only put it on here just because of it's important.
No,
So
yeah, it's a cultural phenomenon,
It
but
sucks.
it's trash.
JPO.
Yeah, even though I helped back the first one and my name's on the DVD credits, if you pause real quick, because there's like thousands of them, yeah, it sucks. The Ring all day.
There we go.
I think you might have had a better match if you put like Hellraiser versus the Ring or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe next time.
Yeah.
With the panel, I'm like, I don't know if enough people seen Hellraiser, so I kind of
Cool.
just went with
Pinhead.
one. At least I know people have seen. Jay,
Some people trash it.
You know what my favorite Paranormal Activity quote is?
the end.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha. You should be afraid of Ray Ray. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a haunted house. It's the better version of Paranormal Activity. I got to go with The Ring.
Mhm.
7 days later of that joke. Brian.
I think The Ring is just okay. While Paranormal has not a single scary moment in the entire franchise, unless you're afraid of, a door shutting. Ooh, so scary. So yeah, The Ring.
All right, and Pez.
Yeah, I'm not overly enthusiastic about either one of these. I think The Ring is like way too long and kind of slow, but it's a better movie than Paranormal Activity, so I'll give it to The Ring.
Oh, clean sweep.
All right, The Ring is going to move on, and we're going to bounce over to our final matchup in Monsters. We have a monster that can do it all, and we have a monster that does one thing. We have It versus Fright Night.
You
And we're
don't
starting.
have Cloverfield?
Ooh.
Thank God.
No.
Fucking Mutos suck, bro.
Abel, It versus Fright Night.
I'm going Cloverfield.
JPO, It versus Fright Night.
JPO is also going Cloverfield.
Yeah, damn it! Don't steal my joke, Jay.
Come on, bro.
I
Cloverfield
will-
is the best monster horror movie of the past 20 years.
Is it?
Cloverfield all day.
Is it?
Let's go.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. You won. You won this debate.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie.
Well, it's just like your opinion, man.
Abel, It versus Fright Night. What are you picking?
Fuck you, dude. It.
There you go. Pick it. JPO.
The Fright Night remake over the old one all day. I had a lot of fun with it, but I thought that first chapter is fantastic. I go It.
All right. I mean, you could technically use the remake on this one. Fair game.
Mhm.
So.
Well, no,
Yes.
I am, but even with that said, I'm still
Okay.
going It chapter 1. I'm
Use
just saying,
It 1990 with Tim Curry.
I was about to say, bro.
that's a
Jay, what are you
miniseries,
picking?
It
a movie.
easy.
All right. Brian.
Fuck that vampire.
This is a tough one for me because I mean I like the It movies, but both of them have fairly weak endings, especially that second one. But that's Stephen King for you. Fright Night, the old one is I enjoy the old one. The new one actually I really liked though. I like that one better. You know what? I'm gonna go Abel mentality. It's gonna lose, but I'm gonna throw Fright Night a vote.
All right. There we go. And Pez.
Yeah, this one's closer than you might think because It Chapter 1 is great. But yeah, I like Fright Night and I love the Fright Night remake. Fuck it. I'll give it a Fright Night. Give it a chance.
All right. And we're gonna look at my arm here. We know who I'm going with. I'm going with It. So is that tiebreaker?
No, it's 4-2. Just
I thought I was
would
going
have been close.
tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Even if it was
All right.
tiebreaker, it'd be It.
I
So.
don't have that tiebreaker in my pocket. I'm gonna give that tiebreaker to Cloverfield. Dude,
There you go.
why Cloverfield? I'm so mad.
Because you only have 32, you cunts. All right. And going over
Like
to
kaiju movie.
Right now.
our
No,
final
Fright Night over Cloverfield all day.
our final horror comedy, we have Zombieland versus Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Mm.
And we're
I've
gonna
never seen the movie Evil.
Shut up. And we're going to start with JPO.
Yeah, no, this is a tough one here. But honestly, I think the one that, especially if you go for rewatchability, I think it's Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Okay. And Jay.
JP is 100% correct. It is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Zombieland gets boring after about the third time you watch it. I have watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil 15 times and still laugh my ass off.
All right. And Brian.
I disagree. I enjoy Tucker and Dale versus Evil a lot, but I think that there, definitely some slow parts in there. It's not as consistently funny. Whereas Zombieland, I can rewatch that one quite a bit. So yeah, Zombieland.
All right. And then we're going to go over to Pez.
Zombieland has the best opening credit sequence of any movie ever, and I've been to Pacific Playland. Zombieland.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to redneck areas in the woods, so Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Fuck you.
You live in the redneck area of the woods.
Not anymore.
You are a redneck area in the woods.
Just the whole thing.
Son of a-
Thank you for buying time for me.
I got you, buddy.
This one's really fucking tough. Rewatchability is it's honestly the same for me. Quotability, there are some good quotes on both of them. I'm gonna go with the filmmaking. I love like what you said, the opening credits. I love just the rules in Zombieland and how it just has the different, stuff that the stylistic choices that just make you wish Ruben Fleischer did better stuff later. I'm gonna go with
I'm looking
Zombieland.
at you, Venom.
Venom. That's a scary. That's almost that is probably gonna be Cloverfield. That's scarier. Abel.
Yeah, I'm glad you said Zombieland because I wanted to save my tiebreaker for something else. So I would have said Tucker and Dale versus Evil if it would have come down to that. But no, Zombieland all day.
You hurt my heart, bro.
All
Hurt my heart, bro.
right, Zombieland 4-2.
All right, Zombieland's going to move on. So now we're going to bounce over to
Boo words.
round two. Our first matchup in round two of slashers. We have Child's Play versus Psycho. And we're starting with Jay.
Jay.
Wait, Saw beat Psycho.
Oh,
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Didn't? Oh, I thought it did.
Psycho won 4-2. Mhm.
Okay.
But good that you're keeping score, Brian.
Brian's keeping the score that he wants to keep.
Facts.
Oh fuck. I'm going Psycho again.
Round 2. This whole thing's about to be tough. All right, we're gonna go over to Brian. Child's Play versus Saw. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, again, the first Child's Play I don't love, but I'm going to pick my favorite franchise. And like I said, those last couple, I find Psycho so incredibly boring and overrated. So Child's Play.
Oof. All right, Pez.
Psycho.
I want to go Child's Play, but I've been a Psycho homer for years. Like, it's one of my ones that just have always been there. You know, no one's ever influenced me. Psycho's just always been there. Anthony Perkins is just one of the greatest performances of all time, not just in horror. So I still got to go Psycho, but still don't fuck with the Chuck. Albert.
I'll take the Vince Vaughn version.
I would pick Saw over Child's Play. And wait, what did Child's Play beat out in the first round?
It'd be
Candyman.
I would pick Candyman over Psycho. So I don't give a fuck about either of these. So whatever.
What a great guess, you.
I'll drink to that.
What? How many points are we on? Who picked what?
I'm not going to tell you. Just vote.
Yeah.
Child's
Vote for Child's Play.
There you go.
This is like tournament fights, the inner brackets. Go with your gut 10 seconds or less. Go.
There you go. And then JPO.
Woo! Psycho.
All right, Psycho 4-2.
All right. Now we're in the first round 2 matchup of Supernatural, starting with Brian. We have Get Out versus The Ring.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
All right. Pez.
Yeah, easy for me. Get Out.
Yeah, same. Get Out's in my top 100. Abo.
So we're all going to Get Out.
I mean, it's up to you.
You don't have to.
Unless you want to be a contrarian about it.
Be your own man.
I really enjoy Get Out and The Ring, but The Ring was like the one that scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid. I'll go to Ring. Why not?
Okay.
Vote for The Ring. Going over to JPO.
It's not super easy. I really like The Ring, but love Get Out. Gotta go Get Out.
All right, and then Jay.
Easy Get Out.
All right, so Get Out is going to move on. All right, our next our first monster second rounder is It versus Jaws. And we start with Pez.
Yeah, this is less hard. I'll go with Jaws.
I'm gonna go It. Novel.
I think It Chapter 2 was trash, to be honest. And obviously the Jaws sequels are trash, but the first Jaws easily beats out It Chapter 1. And I don't know if we count it, but The Shallows would be like Lively, kind of a Jaws one.
Anarchy.
Like Lively's hot. No, Jaws.
All right, JPO.
You know what? I'll show some It love too. It.
All right. And then we have Brian.
What about Jay?
Jay, sorry, I'm trying to. We're going so quick. I'm trying to update the brackets that have the matchups ready for us.
Spider versus Shark or whatever that fucking Taika Waititi movie is. I'm going It.
It's an eagle.
It's a spider now, bitch.
And Brian.
And Brian, officially.
As a horror movie, It.
Thank you.
What are the votes?
4-2 for It. Pull the upset.
It. Wow.
Yeah, upset. Okay, calm yourself.
It's an upset.
Jaws
Jaws.
isn't a horror movie.
Fuck yeah, it is.
No, it's
Battleground,
not.
let's go. Yeah, it is.
Okay, I will fucking argue that all day.
Yeah.
Jaws is
All
not
right.
a horror movie.
Jaws definitely horror.
All right, back
Yeah,
over to
well,
horror
that'll work.
comedies. We have Zombieland versus Tremors.
It's a worthy match.
And it is on me to start.
Yeah.
I'm going Zombieland. Tremors is good, but Zombieland I've really liked it since day one. Abo.
I'll go Zombieland too.
All right, Zombieland 2.
And the first one is
Double tap?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
also
I like
double tap.
I like the second one too.
Zombieland as well.
There you go. Also, JPO.
Zombieland.
I'm going in Zombieland. Jay.
Fucking Zombieland. I hate saying it, but it's not as good as Tremors.
And Brian.
Respect that, Melissa. Respect that.
Zombieland.
And we know where Pez is going to go.
Tremors, but it's not going to win. Yeah.
Was that a tie or is that 4-2?
No, it's way over. No, it's way over.
Is that a tie? Way to be a
What are
dick,
you
Henry.
talking about,
All right.
Is that a tie? New high
Zom-
score.
Zo-
Bad?
Zombieland moves on. So now we're back over to slashers for our second half of round 2. We have, once again, franchise at this point. Either pick the franchise or pick your favorite, whatever. At this point, it's anarchy. Elm Street versus Halloween, starting with Abel.
I just think the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, even though there are some real stinkers in there, they are so much more imaginative than Halloween. Halloween is really straightforward, just a guy in a mask with a knife killing people. And the Nightmare on Elm Street movies just have a lot more to offer, even though it doesn't always hit a home run. They do try. And Halloween is just really stale. So I'll go Elm Street.
All right. Elm Street gets a vote. JPO.
Halloween.
All right. And Jay.
Welcome to prime time, bitch. Elm Street.
Halloween. Oh.
Brian.
Halloween is still not a very good franchise. Elm Street, like Friday the 13th, at least has some fun to it and some far more creative kills. So Elm Street.
All right. Robert Englund only, right, Melissa? Pez.
I'm going Halloween.
I am also going to go to Halloween. The first Nightmare on Elm Street is the only one that I like in that entire franchise, and Halloween is a banger.
So that's a tie to Abel.
And
Yeah, I would have rather used my tiebreaker on something else, but
That's not how it works.
suck
so
it,
what do
bitch.
are you picking? Are you sticking with your same? Just to be clear.
Yeah, suck it, bitch. Nightmare on Elm Street.
I don't remember. I
2022.
don't remember Freddie saying that.
No, I'm saying that.
He does get
Oh,
a few.
okay.
He does say bitch a lot. Bitch
He has
is
a
an
lot of
unofficial
bitches.
catchphrase. Yeah, it's a lot of
I
bitches.
remember the second
Watch
one.
Dan Merle's thing. He has a bitch count. If you watch
It was in the
that.
porn parody.
All right. So our final second round match of Supernatural, we have Hereditary versus The Shining, and that is
JPO.
JPO.
Oh, can we vote for Doctor Sleep in our head?
It is
Yeah,
technically a franchise.
Yeah, technically.
I'm gonna go for The Shining.
Jay.
The boys got the shitting.
All right. Brian.
I'd vote for almost any movie in this entire bracket over Hereditary. So yeah, The Shining.
Pez.
I wouldn't say that, but I'll say The
Brian
Shining.
votes for Cloverfield.
Yeah, I love Hereditary, but The Shining is it's once again similar to what I said about Psycho. It's always been there, and Stanley Kubrick's my boy. And then Abel.
I just want to know what Jordan poured into his sippy cup.
Ketamine.
Is that your- is that your own
Apple
food?
juice, leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean, Apple juice is a
What
real
is
thing.
period?
The Shining.
You say Able juice?
He likes drinking Able juice.
All right.
Apple juice.
Abel's juices.
Apple juice.
The Shining moves on.
Yep, for the sweet.
Yeah, the shitting moves on.
All right. This is ironic that this is a matchup this early. Two movies that I have next to each other at all times for monsters: Alien versus The Thing. Starting with Jay.
I gotta go The Thing, dude. Like, as much as I love both of these movies, I think the practical effects of The Thing are better than the monster suit that you don't really see a lot in the Alien. In Alien, not the Alien. So I gotta go The Thing. I gotta go The Thing.
All right, Brian.
Not the shitty 2011 remake / prequel that Brian's gonna vote for. The original. Well, technically the remake of The Thing from Another World.
If I'm picking my favorite to use a vote, then yes, I would pick the 2011 remake. But then that would put it up against the against Aliens, which is like an all-time favorite. So while I find the first Alien kind of honestly, I gotta go Alien.
All right, Alien. Now
Boo words. Boo words.
The Thing. If it was Aliens versus The Thing, it'd be much tougher.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You said you could pick your favorite, whatever.
No, I'm gonna go with the matchup: Alien versus The Thing. I take The
Because
Thing.
Aliens isn't as horror since we're
Yeah,
doing horror.
no, I agree with that.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, there's Jaws, right, Jay? No, I'm
It's
kidding.
not a horror movie.
I agree.
Alien is my pick. I love The Thing, but Alien just always has the vibes, and The Thing. There's some days when I watch it where I'm like, I don't know if I love the pacing. Alien, it's always gonna be a banger. So, Alien.
The practical effects of The Thing are better than the practical effects of
Yeah,
anything.
that's fair. But I disagree. Albel.
I think both of these movies in execution are damn near perfect. So I got to go with concept, and I just enjoy the concept of The Thing more. So I got to go with The Thing.
All right, and then
JPO?
JPO.
Yeah, I love these both, but I do lean more towards The Thing. I think it zips along better, and I think it's great. The Thing.
All right, The Thing takes it 4-2.
Thing is gonna move on. Wow. All right, that's fair. Fair game. I love the score. All right, our final second
I
round
love the score, but I
matchup.
hate it really.
I hate to watch it leave. Shaun of the Dead versus Cabin in the Woods.
Oh,
It's easy.
We're
Easy for
starting
me
with
too.
Brian.
It's easy.
Right.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, honestly, all the horror comedies should be here in place of half the winners. I love both these movies. I'm gonna give a slight edge to Cabin in the Woods, though. It's such an original idea. I like it.
The original ripoff, but I get what you mean. It's really good.
They're both rip-offs.
I know. I'm just kidding. Pez.
Cabin in the Woods.
Trash.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods
Bad
for me.
pick.
Like I said,
Bad
Cabin in
pick.
the Woods is going to be so high in my top 100 in the
Mhm.
redux, and Shaun of the Dead just goes down. So Cabin in the Woods for me. Abel.
Sick.
Sick, bro.
Fucking
Yeah, I
absolutely.
wasn't expecting this to be a 3-0 when it came to me.
You can start the comeback right now.
Don't call it a comeback.
He's been here for
You've been
years.
here for years.
Mama said knock you out. No, I'm gonna knock it out. I'm Cabin in the Woods.
Let's get our Jay's gonna quit now.
I'm out. Oh, fuck this. I'm done.
Hey, so that's 2 wins. Nice.
Yeah.
God damn, Brian. I thought we were friends, bro.
I'm roasted. JPO, what would you go for?
that's super tight. I was gonna tie it up and say Shaun of the Dead.
Well, we know what Jay's voting for. Cabin in the Woods. 5-1. Sounds
Can
good.
I change my vote? I'll go with Shaun of the Dead. Actually,
No, you already voted.
Yeah, you already voted. Fuck you.
Like in chess, your hand is off. Your hand is off.
Yeah.
And then Jay, Shaun of the
I would
Dead.
have got Shaun of the Dead. I would have got Shaun of the
Yeah,
Dead. I love
yeah.
Cabin in the Woods, but Shaun of the Dead is by far probably one of my favorite horror comedy movies of all time. So
no,
Absolutely.
yes, I agree with Jay and JPO. They swayed me. I'll change my vote and go with Shaun of the Dead.
Well, we are in the finals of each subgenre.
Boo words. Boo words.
We are in the finals of each subgenre. Our winner of the slasher subgenre is going to be between Psycho and Nightmare on Elm Street, and we are starting at the top. Pez.
It's funny what the matchups can do because now I'm switching to Elm Street.
All
It's
right.
literally match for match. It could change. I'm going Elm Street this
Yeah.
year.
I'm gonna stick with Psycho here. It's one of those things that just because it's not a traditional slasher of like what you think of nowadays, the concept of him being a serial killer, similar to like with me with Saw, Norman Bates, just one of those things. Like I said, I love Psycho, and I really, really like Nightmare on Elm Street, so I'm going Psycho. Abel.
Yeah, I know I haven't given any love to the first original Psycho movie, which is great. I think also like the whole twist where like the main character in the beginning gets murdered and there's a whole new character brought in. I think
Spoilers.
it's amazing, but I just love the imaginative nature of Nightmare on Elm Street. So Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right, and JPO.
I mean, who can't relate to dressing in your mother's clothing? Psycho.
Ed Wood definitely can. Bouncing over
Much
to Jay.
information, JPO.
Glendo. Let's go. Who you picking?
Oh my god, bro. No, we're sticking with Welcome to Primetime, bitch. Kung Fu this bitch. It's Elm Street, bitch.
Man, he sure says bitch a lot.
Right?
Brian.
Is Aaron Paul the new Freddy?
Science, bitch.
Don't forget the classic from Far 5, Bon Appetit, bitch.
We're gonna cook meth in your dreams, bitch.
Bitch.
Brian, what do you got?
Oh, bitch.
Yeah, I gotta go to Elm Street. It's easy one for me.
Okay. Elm Street.
And then, Elm Street is going to move on. Nightmare on Elm Street is the winner of the slasher sub bracket. Now we're going to go into the finals of the supernatural / sci-fi. Get Out versus The Shining.
That's you, Henry.
Fuck.
Quit acting like this is a tough decision for you.
No, it really
Dick
is.
Rider.
No, shut the fuck up. I'm thinking, first of all.
Coop Dick Rider.
I don't say this often. If I were to pick the one that's in front of me right now, I am
There you
picking
go with the Barber logic, the Jacob Barber logic.
Get Out, because honestly, I don't know where they're going to lie in my rankings when it actually comes down to it 1 for 1. So I'm going to use that as a tiebreaker. Get Out is skyrocketing in my personal rankings. It was like in the 50s on my last top 100. So I feel like it can be higher on this one. So I'm going to go Get Out. Abel.
I think Get Out is very lucky to be paired up with Shining in the finals of this bracket. I think that is absolute nonsense, and it's it should count its lucky stars to even be here. The Shining is one of the greatest horror movies of all time, so yeah, that's an easy one.
All right, so we have The Shining. Now we're going over to JPO.
I gotta go Get Out with this one.
All right, Jay.
Get Out.
All right,
What
Brian.
Jason?
he said he was Canadian. Get Out. He
I would pick
Uber who was around.
I would pick Doctor Sleep over Get Out, but since it's only 2 movies, so I don't want to call it a franchise. So I'm going movie against movie, Shining versus Get Out. I'll take Get Out.
And Pez.
Yeah,
we're taking The Shining. Yeah,
Is that a tie or is it 4-2?
that's 4-2 for Get Out.
Get Out is going
No,
to
that's 3-3.
win our.
It's 4-2.
Wait, Jordan, what you vote?
I say Get Out.
Get Out.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Get Out wins the
Only votes for The
Supernatural.
Shinings were Abel and
Goddamn,
myself.
Abel, and you're a teacher.
Mhm.
All right,
That is crazy to me.
But he's
We're
not
talking
drunk with
monsters.
people equally.
It versus The Thing. Abel.
You guys are monsters.
The monsters were the friends you made along the way.
I mean, it's the thing, bro. This is come on.
All right, we have a vote for The Thing. JPO.
The Thing, baby.
All right. Jay.
There's still practical effects that people aren't 100% sure how they did in The Thing versus It. The Thing, bro. It's a better horror movie than It.
All right, and Brian.
It sounds like I'm going to lose, but I'd rewatch It over The Thing any day.
All right, that's one for It, and then Pez.
Bro, 40 years later, we're still talking about The Thing. And 40 years from now, we'll still be talking about The Thing. It's The Thing.
11 years from now, we'll
I'll
still
still be talking
not
about
talk
Overrated,
about the
though.
remake.
Yeah. Brian's going to be the only one talking about that 2011 piece of shit. Yeah.
Him and Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yeah, right?
The Thing has spent more time in its top 100 in my top 100 for me. I love it. It's on my arm, but I got to give my guts going with The Thing. So I'm going to go The Thing as well. So The Thing is going to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are on the final matchup of its subgenre horror comedies. Zombieland versus Cabin in the Woods. And we are starting with
JPO.
JPO.
This one's got a little easier for me. Kevin the Woods.
All right, Jay.
Since the clear winner got knocked out last round, we're going Cabin in the Woods.
Brian.
First of all, I'm just realizing Trick or Treat isn't on this list. Damn it, that should be done.
That's a good choice.
Enjoy both of these, but go on Cabin in the Woods.
Brian, we can both change our vote to Trick or Treat.
First Cloverfield.
I'm going Cabin.
Wild card round.
I am also going to go Cabin in the Woods. Abel.
I'll go Zombieland.
All right, at least gets a little up
Oh,
there.
contrarian.
All right, now we are down to our final four. And I just
Dare
want to
you
give a
pick that
reminder,
out of the Shining. You
our
guys are-
final four is going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street, Get Out, The Thing, and Cabin in the Woods. And our first matchup to go to the finals, A Nightmare on Elm Street versus Get Out, starting with Jay.
Nightmare.
All right, Brian.
Oh, I missed which two got matched up.
Get Out and Nightmare.
Get Out and Nightmare.
Get Out and Nightmare.
This is actually tough for me.
Prime
Get
time,
out,
bitch.
bitch.
It's about to be out, bitch.
I would have voted for Obama a third term, bitch.
I mean, Nightmare is more of a classic, but
Thank you.
honestly, I think the better movie is Get Out, though. So,
Oh.
The movies from the 80s
I'm
aren't
gonna say
great.
Get Out.
Pez, calm down.
I'm gonna say Get Out.
All right, go. Get out, Pez.
Wes Craven over Jordan Peele right now. Wes Craven.
Oh
Nightmare.
no, Nope was dope.
Facts. You watched it? Let's go.
I
On my
did.
Voodoo. Shout out my Voodoo.
Nope's his worst movie so far.
Yeah.
Should be on this list.
What?
With that said, I'm going to go Get Out. Nightmare on Elm Street is just not my jam. Freddy's not my boy. Even though the first one is a banger, Get Out is perfection. Get Out. Novel.
I just don't understand how Get Out is here.
Because it got an easy matchup.
Yeah, I got easy matches throughout the whole thing.
It got
How
easy
can
matchup,
you-
honestly.
How can you vote?
Along with several other languages. Yes, he does.
Yes, I do speak a lot of languages. How can you vote Get Out over The Shining? I just don't understand. I'm salty, but I do like it more than the Nightmare on Elm Street movie, so I'll vote Get Out.
Well, give it a spite vote like on tournament fights and give it to fucking Nightmare.
Nope. He already took his hand off the chest.
I gotta be.
All right.
All right.
We still got faith in JPO. Come on, JPO.
JPO. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, you're already sleeping, so you might be fucking Freddy right now. But a Nightmare on Elm Street versus Get Out.
This means
Fucking Freddy.
I'm not swayed because I didn't hear any of your arguments because I was sleeping with Freddy. But I'm voting for Get Out.
What
Get
the
out!
fuck,
Fuck
dude!
off.
Oh
What
my
the
god,
fuck?
trash!
The fuck?
Absolute trash, bitch.
Let's go.
Oh,
with
what the
that
hell is
said,
happening?
We're gonna
Get
do another
Out
one of
is-
these tomorrow. Are we gonna do one of these every day until Halloween?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
because
with
you also
that
need. I
said-
mean, you need Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, no,
Hell, I want
there's
Terrifier 2 on there already. Come on, let's do it.
Facts. There's going to be plenty more. So with that said, we're going into our second semifinal match to face Get Out in the finals. The Thing versus Cabin in the Woods. What are you in the mood for? We are starting with Brian.
Right.
That's you don't even need to bother asking me. It's Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. Pez.
Much love to both these. They're both in my top 50 of all time, but I'll give the slight edge to The Thing.
All right, and then I am going to go Cabin in the Woods. Sorry, John Carpenter.
You should be sorry.
Oh.
Abel.
You guys are making all the wrong decisions. The Thing, obviously.
Thank you, because I say the thing too.
And
Which
we're going over to Jay.
You know
No
why?
matter what.
You know why you're
Thing
saying the thing?
Well, you said the
Because
thing.
the-
So
The thing is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is the correct answer.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
the Thing wins.
42 for The Thing. Yes.
All right. So with that said, we are moving on to our final matchup of the night, the championship, the number one movie in our very first episode of Build a Bracket Horror Edition. The Thing versus Get Out. And we are starting with
Hey. This one, to me, is not even fucking close. It's The Thing by the distance between here and the Arctic Circle. The Thing.
All right, and we're going to me. Whatever would have won, if Cabin Woods would have won, we would have had an issue. But because it didn't, I am going to go Get Out. Abel.
This is almost farcical.
Mhm.
But this is
Good
the
use of
fun-
the word farcical, my boy.
The Thing, it should have been The Thing versus The Shining, but yeah, The Thing obviously wins this.
And JPO.
Or does it? For me, it does the thing.
Jay.
Or does it? Does it? No, it does because it's the thing.
Mhm.
Brian.
There are at least 11 eliminated movies I would have picked over either one of these two. So not big on the finals, but yeah, between the two, it's Get Out.
There are 45 movies that didn't even make the list that would have made the fucking.
Right?
Mhm.
Pez.
So I go first. The Thing wins 4-2.
And your winner, our very first episode of Build a Bracket Horror Edition, The Thing. No shocker there.
Actually,
I mean,
I'm like breathing a sigh.
Well, it's won like 3 different tournament fights as well,
Yeah.
Henry. So I mean, it's not really like it's always a favorite like over there. So it just is what it is. It's awesome.
there we go. All right, hour 15. We talked about 32 horror movies. We had some drama. We had some beef. We had a vast majority of or a variety of horror films. Pez, final thoughts and throw out a plug.
Yeah, no, just I look, Get Out's a good movie. Just I think it had some ones here that I think we have a few more hardcore horror fans that would have understood that, but it's all good. I understand it. Movie Hero Network, tournament fights, tier record fights, movie Battleground. I've got a bunch of matches going up, so I'll just leave it at that.
All right, Movie Hero Network right there. And then Abel, final thoughts. Where would Cloverfield rank amongst all these, and anything you want to plug?
You can keep making fun of me for saying Cloverfield, but Cloverfield is an amazing horror movie, and I agree with Melissa 100%. The Shining should have been in the finals against The Thing, and The Shining would have won for me, but whatever. Breathing a sigh of relief because quality won over style.
All right, and then I'll plug it for you when they get back to scheduling TMG Geek. Abel, check them out. JPO, final thoughts and plug.
No, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for hosting this, putting the bracket together. I liked your brackets, Henry. Don't listen to them. And no, it was good. Yeah, check me out at the Piersco and Pierce Wrestling. And yeah, thank you.
There we go. And then Jay, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. This was real fun. I don't like the way that it turned out, but sometimes that happens. This was a lot of fun. I hope that we continue this because I know we got 4 more days until Halloween itself. So hopefully we can have
4 more days till
winner.
Halloween. 4 more days to Halloween. Silver Shamrock.
Hopefully we can have a tournament of winners by that time. If not, it is what it is. But I'd love to do another one of these, building up to it. Also, you can follow me, Henry. I put it in the comments, so it should be appearing here soon. Twitch.tv/Loose there, and I'm gonna go play some fucking Modern Warfare 2 and be toxic as shit to a whole bunch of kids who don't know what the fucking 360 community was like back in the day. Here in a little bit. So yeah.
There you go. I did not see anything for your comments, but if you put it in there again, I'll go
Hey,
ahead.
Jay, you're going to be shooting up Amsterdam?
Brian.
No, just schools.
Brian, final thoughts. That's horror. Brian, final thoughts and anything you want to plug.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I usually have the opinions in the minority around here, especially when it comes to horror films, but it's always still fun to do brackets, even if it's a lot of good films left out. I don't have anything to plug. You know what? If you like your horror movies bloody and super gory and over the top, go see Terrifier 2 this weekend. It opens wide. Go for it.
I saw it 2 weeks ago. It's crazy.
Mashed
Oh, yeah,
potatoes.
I've seen it like 4 times already.
Oh wow.
And then
It's digital on Halloween.
if you're watching this video, then you're probably subscribed. But if not, go ahead and subscribe. We do movie trivia over here, and then me and Pez are bringing back a different variation of our ranked show, and then just other stuff that we're gonna do. And then here is the what the bracket is going to look like on the Facebook. I'm going to edit out the print your bracket bullshit, but that is what the final bracket looks like. Well, obviously Get Out or the Thing will be in the winner side. But with that said, my name is Hendrick Confidential. Thank you for watching this. If you're new and you randomly just did a horror bracket, check out everything we're going to do. We're going to do some more of this. And if you guys like it, have some advice or whatever, we're going to have some fun. So that said, my name is Hendrick Confidential. Thank you guys. Show up next time because there will be another bracket and there will be